Okay, so this is the toughest song that I have had to teach thus far. It's called Clair de Lune by the composer Debussy. First of all, it has 5 flats in it, okay? And then the rule is get to the second to the last flat to find out what key it's in. So it's in the key of D flat, but all of these have to be flattened. Not only that, but the rhythm is in 9/8 time. Okay, so it's a compound meter and it's counted like a triplet, like triplet, 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 or 1 and a 2 and a. However, you have to count it the way it works in the way that I've researched it is it's better to count it as 1 olet. So 1 olet. Okay, so 1 olet, 2 olet, 3 olet, 1 olet, 2 olet, 3 olet. The reason for that is right over here. Okay, the rhythm is going to change over here where it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and. So if I count it as 1 and a 2 and a, it won't go because it's going to be 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a. But when you count it as 1 olet, it goes like this: 1 olet, 2 o and let, 3 o and let. And here's another crazy rhythm change right here: 1 olet, 2 olet, 3 olet, then 1 o and let, 2 o and let, 3 o and let. That's what these bars are. That bar with a 6 means. So it's kind of like keeping these together: 1 and 2 and 3 and, but still with a compound meter feel, if that makes sense. This is part 2 of my short that I did in the past week about what the toughest song that I've ever had to teach is currently. And so it is Clair de Lune by Debussy. Check out my first short video on how to count the song. And this one is I looked up all the Italian terms in the music because there are a few. And so if you're a teacher trying to teach Clair de Lune to a student, then I already did the research for you. So the first term is on the tempo marking here, which says Andante tres expressive. Andante means walking pace, tres means very, and expressive is expressive. So basically you play it with a moderately slow and expressive tempo. Then con sordina means with mute. On a piano with 3 pedals on it, the una quarta pedal is the one on the left. It's basically the soft pedal, so you can keep that down while playing this song in order to play it pianissimo. So the next term is tempo rubato. That means basically disregard the strict tempo, or it's on the pace is set by the actual musician. The next is più a più cris et anime. I'm sorry if you're Italian or if you speak Italian, please forgive my pronunciation. I'm American, but it means little by little, get louder and more animated. Now here, dim molto on measure 25, it means gradually get a bit softer. So it's dim is just short for diminuendo. Then in measure 27, un poco mosso, that means with a little less motion, somewhat animated. Page 3 on measure 35, cresc, that's just short for crescendo. That means gradually get louder. The next one, measure 37, and animant, become very lively with animation. And the più crescendo right here, that means more crescendo. Let's go to page 4, measure 42. Dim is just short for diminuendo, so gradually get softer. Measure 43, calmato, means calm or tranquil. On the 5th page, we're here in measure 51. Tempo 1 just means to get back to the original tempo. Because if you recall on page 2, it says tempo rubato, which means that the classical musician, they set the pace for the tempo, but then we get back to the original tempo here on measure 51. Last but not least, on page 6, morendo jusqu'à la fin means fading away until the end. Hey guys, so this is my 3rd short on how to play or how to teach the song Clair de Lune by Debussy. So when I started teaching piano, the highest level that one of my kids got to was like an early intermediate level. But getting my new job, I never knew that I was going to be teaching kids who wanted to play advanced music. So with Clair de Lune, this is the most advanced piece that I've had to teach a student and even play myself. The amount of research and studying that I had to do the last few months just to teach this piece is a lot. So I want to share it with you for any of you who want to learn the piece Clair de Lune by Debussy, or who want to teach it or who have to teach it to a student. So if you haven't seen my part 1 or part 2 videos, go ahead and check those out. In the first video, I said that Clair de Lune was the toughest piece that I've ever had to teach. Then I went on to explain why. So it's because there's 5 flats in it. It's in the key of D flat, and also it's the rhythm of it. It's a compound meter, 9/8 time, but there's also some meters where it goes back to like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you have to be able to teach that with the compound meter feel. The short that I did was about what all the terms in the music means, because it's in Italian, so it's hard to understand if you do not speak Italian or understand Italian or studied opera or classical music. Then it's not common knowledge. Lastly, it's also difficult because of the ledger line notes. So ledger line notes are basically the notes that are off the staff, and I'll show you what that means. And also fingering is very important. So this is the third video that you have to teach the kids proper fingering for this song, and also they should be able to recognize or at least label in their music the ledger line notes. So here's an example of ledger line notes. So you see the notes that are completely off the staff, where it's just having lines to indicate where the notes are. Those need to be labeled. Also the fingering, because it helps the child flow, or the student, or even yourself, flow better when you're playing like this run right over here, which cuts the time in half. So your fingers need to be seamless through it. So if you're not at an expert level of sight reading or are a professional classical musician, they're at an expert level of sight reading, then this piece will take you 6 to 8 months. So just be patient with yourself and with your student. This piece does take time to learn, but if you work hard, you'll be able to get it.